Hi everyone, and welcome to this achievement guide for the glory of the Aberrus Raider in Dragonflight, awarding you with the Shadowflame Shalewing flying mount. For the sake of tracking progress on each of your achievements, I would recommend using an add-on like Instance Achievement Tracker to alert you of when progress is made on an achievement, when an achievement is complete, or if an achievement has failed. I've linked the add-on in the description below for you. The first achievement is called Cosplate, and this is a personal achievement, meaning each player needs to complete it themselves to earn the achievement. Once you've cleared Kazzara's boss room, head to the Molten Vortex in the lava on the right side of the room. Click on the vortex to gain a 10-minute debuff called Hellsteel Plating. Then simply pull the boss and make sure you stand inside her Hellbeam Breath for 1 tick. Getting hit by the breath will transform your debuff to Shattered Hellsteel, and then you are free to finish the boss fight as normal. You need to be quick to move out of the breath as it deals heavy damage in a short space of time, but if you die having successfully changed your debuff to Shattered Hellsteel, you can still get your achievement even when you're dead. Next up, the Amalgamation Chamber achievement is called I'll Make My Own Shadowflame, and this requires you to hit the Forgotten Specimen tank in the back left corner of the boss room with a Fiery Meteor from the Fire Elemental and an Umbral Detonation from the Shadow Elemental in Phase 1, and then Blistering Twilight from the Shadowflame Elemental in Phase 2, and then kill the ad that spawns afterwards. You can tell if the specimen tank has been hit by each ability as it will illuminate in the corresponding colour based on the ability that hit it. Tank the two bosses together in the corner of the room next to the specimen tank to make it easier to hit with each ability. Once it's been hit with Fiery Meteor and Umbral Detonation, you can push the boss to 50% HP to start Phase 2. Again, pull the Shadowflame Elemental to the back corner and stand on top of it if you are targeted with Blistering Twilight. The specimen tank only needs to be hit 1 time by each ability, so don't overlap mechanics unnecessarily if you complete this while Aberrus is still current. Once the tank is hit by Blistering Twilight, an ad will spawn which then needs to be killed before you finish the boss fight, so be careful not to DPS the boss too quickly before you're able to kill the ad. The next achievement is Tabula Rasa, and for this one player needs to free Neutral from the specimen tank at the bottom of the stairs before the Forgotten Experiments boss room. I would also recommend marking Neutral with a raid marker so that they are easier to see. Once you pull the first boss of the Forgotten Experiments, Neutral will start running around the boss room in various directions and will stop intermittently for a few seconds. You need to make sure Neutral gets hit by 3 rending charges from the first boss, 3 volatile spews from the second boss, and 3 deep breath casts from the third boss. Because of this, you need to make sure you DPS each boss very slowly until Neutral has been hit 3 times by each ability. To hit Neutral with rending charge, loosely spread around them, and once 3 players are marked, huddle close by so that the charge lines cross through them. If you use Instance Achievement Tracker, it will tell you each time Neutral is hit, and how many hits are left for that boss's mechanic. Once they've been hit 3 times by rending charge, you're free to kill the first boss. When the second and third bosses spawn, simply stack up tightly on Neutral as these bosses' mechanics will spawn based on players' locations. The second boss mechanic that needs to hit Neutral 3 times is Volatile Spew. This should be easy to tick off all 3 hits in one cast if everyone stacks closely enough. The same applies to the third boss. Keep an eye on the timer for deep breath and make sure you're standing in the same third of the room as Neutral to force the boss to cast the deep breath over them. Move out of the way so you don't get hit, but quickly move back to Neutral so the second deep breath comes back through the same third of the room where Neutral is. Do that 1 more time to hit Neutral a 3rd time, and then you are free to kill the boss. For the Assault of the Zaqali achievement, Are You Even Trying?, you need to hit 6 different creatures found down below the boss room with cave pebbles. The way to do this is to push the boss through the first phase until he flies away and ads begin to spawn from either balcony. Then, wait for the tank frontal called Heavy Cudgel. This will spawn the big interactable items called Cave Rubble nearby. Pick up 1 cave rubble and hold it until the next heavy cudgel. Stand inside the frontal and your cave rubble will turn into 3 cave pebbles, giving you an extra action button that you can then use at the edge of the balconies to hit all the creatures you need for the achievement. You need to hit the Ember Mouse, Siege Mammoth, Rock Snail, Zaqali Bolt Thrower, Magma Slug, and the Cave Beetle. Each creature only needs to be hit once, but you may find it easier to hit some of them from the other balcony, so if you're completing this in a group, split the group in half and send one to the far balcony while the other stays at the nearest balcony. Don't push DPS on the boss until all creatures have been hit, as you won't get any more cave rubble or cave pebbles in the final phase. For Rashok's achievement, Whac-A-Swog, you need to pull the lever on the right side of the door as you enter the boss room. This will spawn a large unattackable frog that then jumps to random locations in the room. Then all you need to do is hit the frog 5 times with Rashok's Searing Slam cast. Try to keep an eye on when the frog jumps, as it will stay in its new position for a few seconds before leaping away. Just be careful not to overlap Searing Slams in an attempt to hit the frog, especially if you're completing this achievement while it is current, as overlapping the puddles from Searing Slam will cause a wipe. As long as you take the DPS slow and execute the rest of the fight as normal, you should have plenty of time to hit the frog 5 times. Once that's done, you're free to finish the boss fight. The next achievement is Eggscelent Eggsecution. For this one player in your group needs to pick up the delicate experimental egg on the table before Zskarn's boss room. You'll have to clear the trash in this area to get to it. Once you interact with the egg, it will be flung up into the air and spawn a soaking circle that someone needs to stand in to catch the egg. Holding the egg causes you to run uncontrollably until you let go of it, so you won't be able to use any abilities apart from instant cast ones. One player can hold the egg for up to 60 seconds, and once they drop it, they can't pick it back up for 90 seconds, so you'll need a few players for this achievement. As a group, you need to kill Zskarn without ever letting the egg hit the ground. Getting hit by any mechanics will cause you to throw the egg and spawn another soaking circle for another player to catch it, so avoid as many mechanics as you can, but be mindful that Blast Wave is the only ability that is unavoidable, and this is when your group needs to be ready to catch the egg again. Pop all your CDs on the boss to get it down as quickly as possible. For Magmorax's achievement, Escar-Go-Go-Go, your group needs to find 20 spicy lava snails inside the lava surrounding the boss platform and throw them at Magmorax using the extra action button. You can only see spicy lava snails once you pull the boss, so again, take the DPS slow here to allow yourselves plenty of time to collect all your snails. Some snails are really far out into the lava, so classes like Demon Hunters, Evokers, Warlocks and Druids would be best for reaching these. Just be mindful to locate a snail before you enter the lava, as you'll be taking significant fire damage all the while you're swimming, and if you die while holding a lava snail, you'll fail the achievement and need to start again. Throwing a lava snail at Magmorax gives her a stacking damage done buff, as well as attack speed and movement speed, so the fight gets harder the more snails you throw at her, up to a maximum of 20. If you're completing this in a group, designate a few players to fetch the snails while the rest stay on the boss platform to execute mechanics. Also keep an eye on the knockback timer if you're on snail hunting duty, as you may get knocked back even further into the lava. Once Magmorax is at 20 stacks, you can finish the encounter. The Echo of Neltharion achievement is called Objects in Transit May Shatter, and this will require 4 people to complete. Each of the 4 players needs to head to the spawn points of 4 different items around the raid and bring them to the boss room. The expired experiment is behind a trash pack before you enter the Amalgamation chamber boss room. The never-burning ebon candle is on the right as you enter the Assault of Zaqali area behind some boxes. The stack of scrolls should be in the corner as soon as you ascend the chain after killing Rashok and head towards Zskarn. And finally, the portable ebon anvil can be found on the way to Zskarn from the Forgotten Experiments. There is also a helpful bug with this achievement where you can reset the boss after taking a couple of the items to him, and once he respawns, all 4 of the items you need should appear on the stairs by the boss room for you to pick up. With 4 people carrying 1 of each item, they then need to break through the twisted earth walls that spawn during the Echo of Neltharion fight. To make this easier, tanks should take 1 item each, as they are guaranteed to be sent through walls with Calamitous Strike or Sunder's Shadow. Note that getting knocked back into the wall of the boss room does not count for the achievement. You need to break the walls that spawn during the fight. This will apply a bleed to your whole raid that will stack with however many items were sent through the walls at once, so try to break as few at once as possible. Once all 4 players holding the items have gone through a wall, you're free to end the fight. The final achievement is "We'll never see that again, surely." This is a personal achievement, so each player is responsible for completing it for themselves. Here, what you need to do is clear all the trash leading up to Sarkareth's platform, but before you jump across, head back to the pool where you first land when you jump down from the Echo of Neltharion. Stay in the pool until you reach 10 stacks of a debuff that will then transform into a lump of flesh. This debuff will reduce your max HP, so be ready to use defensives and healing cooldowns wisely in phase 1 of the Sarkareth fight. Once everyone has their lump of flesh, pull Sarkareth and execute the first phase as normal, but once you get sent down into the down phase or the nothing beyond stars, stand at the edge of the platform and you should see an extra action button appear. This will let you throw your lump of flesh off the edge, removing your debuff and completing the achievement. You can do this during any down phase in the fight, but to get it out of the way early, I would recommend just throwing it the first time you go down. If you die before you're able to throw your lump of flesh, you'll need to try again, but if you die after throwing your lump of flesh, you will still get your achievement as long as Sarkareth dies. Instance Achievement Tracker will light each player's name in either green or red, depending on whether they fulfilled the criteria for this achievement. So once you're all done, finish the boss fight as normal. And with that, you should have earned your Glory of the Aberrus Raider achievement and unlocked the Shadowflame Shalewing. Thank you very much for watching, best of luck farming your achievements, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye!